What's going on, guys? Babs here. Wanted to make a little talk-through video of this Chambers Bay ready go. I know I did a front nine talk-through video, but I figured, you know, why not do the whole thing per se. See if there's anything else I need to enter. I need to enter that. What is this? What's the club set? Is there a way to look at the club set? Oh, here we go. What in the world? 235, 210, 195. Good Lord, that's some weird clubs. I guess I'm not going to be playing that one. Okay, let's get into this. Ready go action. So first hole, I think it's low end, so I won't have a problem reaching the green on this one. As I mentioned before, the idea is to land in the front of the green if possible. Looks like we're going to have to hit a 3-wood here. Don't really want to aim just because, keep it safe. .229. See, so that's what can happen if you don't land short enough. And obviously it's 12 greens and it's a 3-wood underpowered, so it's not going to have a lot of spin. And the apex of the club is not going to be very good. So that's just one of those unfortunate situations where you're kind of stuck with having to hit a club that you really don't want to hit. I'm just looking at this. There's a little movement to the left at the beginning, but most of it is to the right. So I'm just gonna get an idea of what the dots are doing. In a sense, it is fairly uphill, so that's going to reduce a lot of the dot movement. We'll call it 9 seconds. We're looking at maybe 102%, maybe a little less. We'll try that right there. See what happens. Got the ding. So yeah, we could have aimed it 102%, but I figured maybe some of that flatter stuff might help me out. And that's just one of the challenging things about this hole is, you know, unfortunately we had to hit a 3-wood. So tailwind, we're going to hit it to the right. That way we can use the slope of the green to our advantage. Might even put a little bit of backspin on this since it is 12 green. So I'm just going to tap backspin, not a whole lot of aim. I want it to bounce off the hill if possible. And we'll see if we can't sink it. There we go. See, if I'd have gone to the left, you know, I'd have to play release, etc., and I'd rather, you know, not play release coming up this way. It's much easier tailwind hitting into a flat green. Let's see, headwind. I'm not even going to move the aimer on this one because I don't want to risk going left. I think a 4-iron is actually a really good play here. Let's try an off-spin 4-iron. Want to throw it long and keep it kind of straight down on the hole. So it's right above the hole, didn't risk going too long. It's a relatively straight putt looking at both dot situations. I'm just going to ram it in. So I chose not to move the aimer on that shot simply because I don't want to risk having a too early misting and then it goes off to the left. So better to be safe and just stay on the flag area. Uh, 12 greens. We might be able to run this up if possible. We'll see. Just want to aim slightly just so I can get a run up on this hill and not worry about maybe coming up too short on that side. So a little off spin. Take the flag off, see if we can't run it up on the hill. Hopefully it'll show us. So we got it up, it's coming down, and feeds back towards the hole. So just use this big hill as a backstop. And anything really 11 and 12 greens, the ball will come back down. 10 greens, maybe not so much. Another tailwind, gotta be careful. I find that this hole plays a little long for me. It might be different for other people. So I gotta make a slight modification to that. Not gonna aim a whole lot just because I want the misting to work in my favor. So we got a decent 9-iron in here. Gonna see if I can land it slightly short and run it up. Kept it below the hole. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, not a whole lot happening here. As you can see, it's downhill at the beginning and then it becomes uphill. So that's gonna affect the putt slightly, but not drastically. So I'm just misting. This is actually a good win for this hole. It's a really good win. See if we can get a good number in. So as I mentioned before, there's a hill here, right here. And so the idea is to land it on that hill and trickle down to the hole, if possible. So with this, I'm not even going to move the flag because I want my misting to hit into that hill, if we can get it to do that. And we didn't. Actually, oh my goodness. I guess that was more headwind than indicated. Wow, okay. That's unfortunate. I thought that was a really solid 4-iron. Okay. I gotta make a putt. Little right movement at the beginning and the rest is kind of drifting. So let's see how we can blend all those dots together and make it one nice looking putt. So usually like this, I'll take the dot speed and then I'll double it. So right now I had 7, I'm gonna make it 14. I'm gonna be right in this ballpark, and then I think right in here might be the aim. So let's give that a shot. And the beginning was very strong. Very, very strong. So it could have been a little more, but moving on. So maybe we'll go back and kind of look at that and see why that shot was such a strong headwind. Again, this shot we want to come up, 3 yards. We want to land 3 yards short if possible. So this is going to be a decent 8-iron. Nothing too wild. So you'll see 128, and I want to throw it short, so 7 yards short, and let it roll up to the hill. Because this tailwind with this elevation is going to allow you to do that. You don't want to go for the flag and then end up rolling way over here. You want to land it short and let the ball roll towards the hill. Oh yeah, probably not gonna get anywhere near the green on this one. A, not strong enough, and B, not straight enough. So unfortunately, maybe we can pop top spin on it and get lucky. Nope, it's gonna roll off the right, which is fine. Nothing crazy, just take what the game gives you and move on. We got a tailwind. I'm going to leave the numbers the way they are. If it was a headwind, I'd add 2. This is actually a great win for this hole because the green slopes left to right. Blue is on the left, red is on the right. So you can land it on this hill here and it'll feed back towards the hole, which is really nice. So this is going to be a 5-iron. And I want to put it out just a little more than usual. See if I can't land it on that hill. No beats. That's fine. Probably not strong enough to really get me to go over there, but nonetheless, not a difficult putt. The dots are all moving consistently. The beginning is slightly faster than the end, so you kind of have to anticipate, you know, you don't want to aim too much for the beginning because the end won't bring the ball back towards the hole. So we're just going to put it right on the cup right there and see if we can't put her in. Good speed. And then it flattens out at the end. Not a terrible front 9. Carry it over into the back. Fairly straightforward hole. It kind of reminds me of hole number 3 on Congressional. You know, a little uphill shot. Nothing too adventurous about it. I'm just gonna slide aim because my misting style of play kind of calls for slide aim. So if my misting, I don't want to aim like I normally would. The ball would be way out there. I just want to aim slightly that way. When I do use a misting, it won't be a drastic miss. Got a little bit of movement, not too much. Just gonna draw the line here and punch it in. And you'll see that a lot of my putts, you know, I'm not counting the dots simply because I've seen them so much that just for me, I recognize what the ball's going to do. And if I add that 3-4% bit of power and make it a ram putt, I can make the line work for my shot. Don't want to go long on this hole because it's a really treacherous putt. You want to stay below the hole, so I'm going to opt for a little off spin. See if I can't land it short and roll up to the hole. Not bad. 204. 26% power here. If I'm looking at the vertical dots, they're actually going to straighten the putt out. So these dots are going to have less of effect, especially this second dot right here moving really slow. So that's a 6-second dot, whereas I think this one is closer in the low 5-second dot. So normally my aim would be somewhere right here, but because these first 2 grids are really slow and this dot is pushing into it, I'm just going to ram it, you know, right in this area. And generally what I do there is I take my normal aim and I cut it in half. And I just increase the power by 4 or 5%. Not a bad number. Just hit a full driver, see what happens. No beats. Not bad. Thought I'd get more headwind hold up there, but didn't really do that. Again, we'll look at these dots. They're fairly consistent. It kind of hangs out a little back right on this one. This one's faster than most. I get 8.4 seconds. Vertical is helping. So we'll look at the first aim that I get and see that it looks like it's going to be a little low. So we'll pop out to the next aim. See if that one works. Basically all I'm doing there is I'm using my calculator to look at the two aims that I've calculated, and I compare the two based on the line. So the first line looked low, as in ball coming off the club face. Do I think that ball is gonna, cut soon? And is that gonna be good for me? And if it's not, I move to the next line. I like to hit a drop down club on this hole, if possible, just not to run it up too much. I find that if you hit the club that you're given or calculating, it skips. So I try to drop down to a club and increase more with it. I calculated I had that shot as a 96% 4-iron. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, 96% 4-iron, full backspin, doesn't generate the same amount of force as a full power shot with off spin. So that's why I chose to go with the drop down club. Because I'm thinking of it in terms of how much force am I imparting on the ball. Not really going to aim this. Just going to put it there. Below the hole is good. Maybe could have hit it 1 more percent. I thought I had actually hit it 95, but sometimes it's tough to tell where 95% is on this grid thing. Again, beginning is moving slightly slower than the end. Obviously it's uphill here, but it's downhill at the beginning, so that's going to affect how the ball comes off the club face. So you want to try and anticipate that if you can. Let's see. Looks like a tailwind. I'm going to play it as a tailwind. Looks like it's going to be a 4-iron. Don't want to come up short. Also don't want to aim too much because I don't want to go in this fringe rough area. So I'm going to actually half aim this one. See if it works. If I miss to the left, I miss to the left. Oh my goodness. That is a strong 6-mile-per-hour wind. Well, and technically I didn't want to ding that, and that's another problem is, when I'm planning these shots, I don't plan to ding the shot, so that's supposed to be a late miss ding, which would complement my under aim, but instead, I dinged it, so the aim gets ruined, which is fine. We'll look at this putt. Dots are kind of slow, but they're drifting. Look at our first aim. It might move into the putt, might not. I'll give that a shot right there. See if it moves. Nothing. Almost dead straight. So we tried. I saw something, and it turns out that it wasn't that. It was more of a drifting putt instead of an elevation putt. So even on your misses, you want to learn something, which is fine. You know, don't just take the miss and be like, crap, I didn't make the putt. You know, take the miss for what it is and then learn something from it. That way, next time you have that putt, it'll work out in your favor. Don't want to come short or left on this hole by any means. So I'm not going to move the aimer. I'm going to misting right and make sure that I'm below the hole and I'm on the right side of the hole. That way there's no issues with what's going to happen. So slight dot movement, not too much. Don't want to overpower it. Misting and just ram it in. Not the best wind. Sometimes mistings get punished here, but we'll go for it. So I got the ding, which is what I wanted. And that time it actually, you know, I wanted the ding, so it worked out in my favor. But if you get it too bad a misting, sometimes you'll land it long and it'll roll off the green into the bunker. So I try and avoid that by slightly under aiming it. And that way, even if I do ding it, it's not going to go far left into this drop down area. Looking like we got 14 seconds on a downhill putt. Probably right in this area, maybe a little more just because it's downhill. 26%. Misting. And we get one more. Got a tailwind, so we'll see if we can't land it nicely. And get a heartbeat. Come away with 18 under. See what kind of number we can get here. It's not a bad number. I'm not going to move the aimer just so I can use this hill to my advantage. See if I can hit it up in that hill. There we go. So hit it up into the hill and let it come back down. If I were to move the aimer and come over here, chances are that might not go, it might not have gone. Let's see if I can get a good view. Okay, here we go. So if I were to move the aimer wherever it indicated, which is probably half a grid or whatnot, and I had a wrong misting, it would have gone up this hill and maybe rolled off the back. But because I didn't move the aimer, I allowed myself to use this really strong portion of the hill here to stop the ball. And that's where you can help yourself by saying you don't always need to move the aimer to get a favorable shot. So that's a little walkthrough of Chambers. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This shot was an underpowered 3-wood. This shot was a full 4-iron, which came up ridiculously short. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and watch that. And this one was a ding that I didn't want to ding. But still, we came away with the 53, which is good. If y'all have any questions, let me know. And I will see you guys soon. Take care.